Depends on the context.
What do you mean? The context
Like
of death?
situation, like obviously if like D1's like gonna run me over with his car, I'm gonna want to kill his ass.
Yeah, I'm talking about the conclusion of death though, so I don't think that's contextual. The conclusion of death is all the same.
I even think that there are some conclusions of death that I would actually like. If you're meaning like the idea of it itself, I don't know if I actually think there's nothing like objectively bad about it. I mean, I don't like it personally, but like
okay. So here, I'll lay out a bigger foundation for you. So by the conclusion of death, I mean whatever happens post it, not the reason for or the cause of it, right?
The conclusion of so the conclusion, you mean like the prerequisites, not the conclusion.
Like, okay.
Because
for example, like zaji.
What you're talking about is how you get to the conclusion, but that's not the conclusion.
No. So okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say you die because an alligator bit your balls off and you die from so much pain, right? If you die from that, yeah, that's like the cause. I'm talking about the death itself. Like, do you think that part's bad? Not the cause.
I already answered that. I don't think, like, I personally don't prefer it, but like I don't know if there's any objective thing that makes it or defines it as bad. What does bad even mean?
Negative, like in a bad sense. It'll take away from.
And I'm not trying to be like rat with that. That's a very like I need to know what you mean by bad, because like in order for me, because there has to be with respect to what, because obviously like the like 2 + 2 = 5 is not bad in the same sense as like someone like
I think I gave you that. I gave you like what it was, right? I told you that bad would be like taking away from. So for example, if I'll give a better example. If someone like Bill Gates, who had money, who hasn't written his will yet, is going to give away to charity, but he dies, that would be taking away from, correct?
Can you restate the example again? I'm sorry.
Okay. Let's say Bill Gates, who has a lot of money, as we know, right, is about to give his money away to charity, but hasn't written his will yet to give it away to said charity, right? The government would get to claim it then, and the kids who actually need it wouldn't get it. That's taking away from. His death just took away from something, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm saying the possibility of that could be applicable to anybody who hasn't, for example, written their will, hasn't gotten their kids to a decent enough spot to grow up and contribute back to society, anything like that. The possibility of COVID killing one of those people exists. The possibility of those people existing in those areas exists, right? So therefore, if that possibility exists, you should be wearing a mask because of it, because it could kill you. That's it.
Well, I don't see any reason why I should personally accept that, because I also don't do things that would like have the potential or possibility to kill others. For example, if I like have like untied shoelaces, I don't think it's an immoral thing for me to go walking around just because there's the possibility for me to like hurt someone else or like kill someone else.
So why?
Because like I could probably like, are you asking me for a personal level? Because I could.
No, I'm asking you for like some sort of justification, because I think I gave you decent reasoning at least, or reasoning that was accepted. Hold on. I think I gave you reasoning that was accepted on some level at least, as to why the possibility of someone dying in this case, like Bill Gates or someone else like that, who could contribute back to society, dying is like, negative in some aspects. So I want justification for your stance.
I like understood your like position. I don't necessarily think I accepted it. However, I will say that like the reason being on a personal level, for one, the justification is intuitional, right? I don't necessarily believe I have to justify the positions that I hold because I'm not the one making an affirmative.
Why do I have to accept that then as justification, like intuitional justification? Why do I have to accept that?
What do you take as justification?
Reasoning backed up by, some sort of evidence, some sort of data, something like that.
Is an intuition not a reason?
No, I just said reasoning that's backed up by data. So,
like,
statistics that pertain to the real world.
So intuitions are necessarily like dependent on the real world. Otherwise, they wouldn't be intuition.
You're strawmanning me. Then I said based off data. It's predicated around data. I didn't say specifically only things that exist in the real world. Then you could reason why.
Do you think like when someone makes a sentence and they're using linguistics, that you you assume what they say based on data analysis or an intuition that you believe that
you already said it was predicated around intuitional reasoning, and then I said I won't accept that, and then we already made the distinction between actual statistics and intuition.
Why should I care what you accept?
What do you mean? Because your defeater to what I just said was that you didn't accept it, correct? This is a moral debate.
Makes you think and this is the reason that I asked you, right? Whether or not it was universal or personal, because like
Uh-huh.
I don't necessarily just because like you accept or think something should be applied, you could believe something could be applied and have actual data analysis to support the claim. However, like I don't necessarily see because we didn't go into this debate like presupposing like what's like more like what brings more utility to society, right? So, for an example, you like could bring up like a reason that like switching to crypto would be good for the economy, and I could just say I don't like it on a personal like level and just based off of intuitions.
Yeah, you know
And
the issue with that?
what?
At least in this case, I think it'll come across to the judge, whoever goes over this, that I've given reasoning backed up by data, and then you've just given something that's intuitional. And if this is a moral debate, like we said, and I already told you like the prerequisites that I laid down and fulfilled them for the specific people that it's applicable to, or that my premise was supposed to make it applicable to, then I don't really care if you just deny it on a personal level, right? Because I've given you a metric, I fulfilled my metric in my opinion, and then you just deny it with something that's not backed up by anything. I think that's just Hitchens razor. That's like me
Oh
saying
no
like,
no
oh,
no! For when you
wait,
say
one
okay,
second, one
oh
second.
my god.
My bad. Yeah, you try to like say it's true by verifying your own experience with it, but the issue with that would be
Mm-hmm.
if I just say, oh, okay, here's a cat, and my point's like dependent on me proving it's a cat, and then I say, oh, okay, yeah, it's a cat because I verified my own experience. I don't necessarily have to accept that because it might not be true. Could be clouded by your own incredulity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now may I go like speak now?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. Now when you're saying that, oh well, the judge might necessarily believe what I said because I gave reasoning to back it up. Well, you gave reasoning that like goes in favor to a certain type of like idea. With that being utility, of course, you're arguing that like, well, it would be better for society, or like less people would die, or I think that would be bad. Sure, you could be like saying that like you'd be basically telling the judge, hey, judge. I proved that my position has like a utility and like is accurate, like with respect to some moral system. However, you're not actually justifying the use of that moral system on a universal level, right? The problem with that is that I could say that my positions are backed up in reference to my own like intuitions, right? And I gave justification based on them because I would like assume that everything on a personal level, right, is intuitional to like its very foundation, like language, for instance. I don't think that I look at the data and statistics on how likely this person is to use this word in a certain context, right? To assume that what they're saying fits that context. I just have an intuition that they're doing it, right?
Okay.
Like you saying that, like, you saying that, like, well, I appealed to this certain criteria that the judge may agree upon. I could also say the same thing.
Okay, yeah. So then again, if my metric has been backed up by reasoning and then it goes to the judge and you asked me to fulfill something that was universal, I remember when you asked me the question of is it universal or not when it was like applying to my prerequisite, and I told you, if COVID is spreading in your area, then yes. And I think I already made it applicable to people who have COVID in their area based off the potential of certain people or certain figures in this world dying. So this is all just based off real world knowledge, real world statistics. And then you just try to deny that by your own intuition. So again, if you don't give justification for that intuition, I don't care.
Um, Intuitions are unjustifiable by their very nature. But
Okay.
like hold up, like the thing mainly here is right. Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean by justification, because I guess some intuitions could be justified, or I guess all intuitions would be justified again, depending on your definition. But the main point that I'm trying to say is like you saying like when you said, yeah, I agree, it's universal. I mean, you can say, yeah, you think it's universal. You're not justifying why this thing is universal. You could like ask me why I like, do I think ice cream tastes like vanilla, right? Or like, do I think the ice cream tastes like vanilla? Me saying yes is just me stating my opinion on the matter. It's not giving a proper justification or
I
reason
think
for
that's
it.
disanalogous.
No, it is not. How?
Yeah, I can explain why. That thing didn't need justification in that case. I think this one does, though, because we're in a debate where our ideas are being shared between each other, right? And you proving that, unless you were debating on whether vanilla ice cream tasted like vanilla ice cream, it wouldn't be applicable in this case, because I don't need you to prove that. But I do need you to prove this because you're trying to debunk something with your own intuition that hasn't been verified. That's all.
What am I trying? Wait, what am I trying to? Okay, this is why I think you don't know what you're talking about in this given instance. What am I trying to debunk?
Yeah, were you not contending my stance by saying it was like your reasoning was intuitional? If you're not, then you could
I'm.
just say that.
I no. I never said I was contending the stance. I
Oh,
was saying
okay.
that like I was saying that like I have no personal reason to. I could actually agree, right, that everything you're saying has a utility basis for it,
Okay.
right? and accept the idea that it would probably be better for society. However,
Mhm.
in terms of the debate format, I could also say that based on a certain like intuition or like personal belief, like moral nihilism, which others like also could coincide to, it wouldn't matter to them. Now, if you want to argue or you want to talk about like statistics and analysis, you could show me like individual. We could like go over data. I mean, I'm not like a huge, not a huge data analysis like I've taken college statistics, but I know a little bit. We could go over some data points and see how like they were
Mhm.
conducted. If you want to appeal to data,
Yeah.
I'm pretty
So
sure like let's look at some data then.
yeah. So I'm gonna go over this first, and then we can do that if we even need to. Because
But by
so
the way,
basically, what's
before
up?
we go into data, I think it's like clear and like I think we have to like stop like go over the meta
Yeah,
points.
I'm gonna
That's
say
all.
one more thing. I'm gonna say.
No, we didn't. We went over intuitions, and you gave like a certain type of like justification, right?
Okay.
But
Yeah.
like, I think that the justification you're giving doesn't have to apply in every context.
Well, I only wait. That actually fits in perfectly with my premise because my premise was only applicable to certain contexts. My premise is only applicable to areas that have COVID, what that's spreading at this moment. There might be some areas out there that we don't know about that COVID isn't rapidly spreading in at the time, right? So in this moment of time, if there are areas that have COVID widespreading in their in their respective place, then they should wear masks. They should be inclined to wear masks. That's what the premise was. So you're right about that. It doesn't apply with every single context because it doesn't need to be in every
I'm not
single
talking
context.
about like when I say context, I'm not even talking about like your premise in general. I'm talking about the nature of it in terms of like a reason basis, right? When I say it doesn't apply to every context, I'm saying your position and its definition of justification doesn't have to necessarily like apply to every context in terms of like what a moral like someone else's moral belief has to be or what other like cities might necessarily agree with what's like right or wrong, right?
Yeah, I
That
don't care if they agreed. I've just reasoned otherwise. Like
and I could
again,
just say that I don't care about yours.
okay, yeah, mine's justified, yours is unjustified. That's what it all boils
Mine is
down to.
wait, hold on. How is mine unjustified?
Justified by my metric, by the way, like statistics and whatnot.
Okay, I could just say I have a personal metric for justification, and via that more personal metric of justification, yours is unjustified and mine is.
Okay, can you prove that yours is applicable over mine in this scenario? Because your argument presupposes that.
How do you measure that?
Yeah, well, that's kind of your burden. That's kind of your fault for saying that idiotic sentence. So prove that.
Wait, I never, I never argued that like one is
Yeah,
necessarily
you
more good.
presupposed it though.
You're the one like placing. Well, basically, right? If you're gonna like, I could be agnostic on the position, right? But if you
You're
want to
not.
argue, hold up. If you want to place that burden, right? And
Not my
no,
problem
that
right
is
now.
not the no.
Yes, it
It
is.
directly
Yes,
no.
it
It
is. You
directly
doing that is just
addresses the
avoiding the
issue.
issue.
It directly addresses the issue,
How?
right?
The issue
Because
at hand is whether
the
whether or
same
not you're
issue you're
presupposing
trying
something.
to like necessarily oppose on me can also apply to your position in a given context too.
Yeah, so again, that would be fine if you had brought it up initially, but I already brought mine up, so we'd be avoiding the issue if you don't go over yours, unless you want to admit that your stance is unjustifiable, and then you can go on to me, because it would be avoiding the issue for you to do so, to do otherwise.
Okay, okay, Judge. I just want you guys to like analyze what he said and think about it very clearly. He said, yes, it could, but the issue is I brought it up first,
Yeah,
right?
you did, which so you're avoiding the issue.
Hold up. So you acknowledge it. Hold on. If I can definitely demonstrate via a linguistic standpoint, right, that both of our things and the problem that you raised can apply to both of us, and you're
But
like
I said it
addressing
could.
it.
I never said it
And
could.
you're addressing this as a problem, then as a result of you addressing this as a problem and you agreeing that it also like can apply to your position
No, that's
too,
a straw
it
man
doesn't
saying that it
matter.
could.
Hold up.
Yeah,
It
don't
doesn't
straw man.
matter does not matter who brought it up first because the issue could,
It does.
the paradox can still reflame the boat.
Yeah, no, that's not true. First off, I admit that it would be possible for it to apply to me, not that it is applicable to me. So you'd have to prove that it is still. You have to actualize that. Second of all, you
تعورني.
Basically,
drop the point then. Wait, drop that point. Drop that point.
Basically,
Drop
that's
that
a
point.
fallacy of composition that you just committed. But
Whoa,
basically,
prove that.
basically, okay,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
prove that your granny's still alive. Anyways, let me
Okay,
like
red
actually
herring.
fucking like.
Wait. So you're dropping
Let
the
me
point about how
explain
it's a
the
pseudo
evidence.
point because you couldn't
I'm
prove it, right?
saying that
Wait,
basically
you're
mine's
dropping
more
that point, right? Are you
justifiable
dropping that
because
point?
my
Wait, are you
intuitions
dropping that
align
point?
more towards mine. My
Okay,
point
word.
is
You're
more
dropping that point.
justifiable
You got
because
it.
it aligns towards my position. That's
Okay,
my
can you prove that? Can you
justification.
prove that? Yeah. That
It's like
presupposes
it's
that your alignment
provable
is
by
correct.
very nature.
Okay, yeah, that presupposes that your own verification is correct. So can you prove it is?
Why do I have to prove a presupposition?
Okay, if you don't prove the presupposition, then the thing your argument is dependent on, the claim is dependent on, falls apart. That's why.
Wait,
Also,
can
you didn't prove
that?
that it was a pseudo claim, Zaji. Are you gonna move off
Wait,
that?
can
Are you
you
gonna
prove
drop
that?
that point? Where are you gonna
Can you
drop that
prove
point
that?
though? So you're gonna
Can
drop
you
that
prove?
point?
Can you
Prove what?
prove
I
that
think I
that's
just
what I'm
gave you
intending?
reasoning for. Well, yeah, I gave you reasoning as to why it's true.
Can you wait? Can you prove that?
Yeah, I gave you reasoning as to
I
why
can
it's true.
play
Are you
this
gonna
game too,
deny
Brij. I
evidence?
can play to prove this game. Wait, can you prove that like yes means yes?
Can you?
Can you prove that you're talking?
Can you prove that you're talking? Because I already did.
Yeah, speak. You
I
concede.
apparently proved that I was talking. By the
Okay,
way.
you speak. I prove that you speak. You conceded.
Okay, can you prove that? Can you prove that that's warranting concession?
Wait, prove that I have to prove that.
Wait, that presupposes I'm capable of conceding to you. By
Wait,
the way,
what's a
so can you prove that?
presupposition? Define a presupposition.
That
Wait,
presupposes
prove
that I
that.
have to give you a
Prove that I
definition.
just asked you a question there.
Yeah.
You
Prove that
see
I
how
have to give you a
stupid?
definition and answer your
You see
question.
how stupid this game is? You see how stupid this game is?
Yeah, it's very fun. Like we can do this all day, Zaji. Like I don't mind. IRL, cuz.
Bro,
Bunny.
I have stamina that you don't. You do not want to play this game with me.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that, but I don't care. Like, do you want to conclude the initial
Wait,
debate?
can you
Or
prove that you're not going to do that?
wait, can you presuppose the
I
moral
met Future
necessitation of
Brij.
your mom?
I met Future Brij. He's doing this for 8
Wait,
hours
can you
right
prove
now.
you met? That's an appeal to intent. Can you prove you met Future Brij?
Wait, what's an appeal to intent? What's that?
It's the Oppo. It's known as the Rancisis fallacy. That's what it is. You want to describe it?
I think you committed the BB like fallacy. That's being a fucking bitch.
I think you committed the Rancisis fallacy. You want me to describe it?
Yeah. I think you committed the fucking yo granny's dead fallacy. Now shut the fuck up.
I think you committed the D1 victim fallacy. Like check chat.
Nah. The Gios victim fallacy you applied to.
Yeah. But D1 crashed into you the other day, didn't he?
Nah.
Funny,
Fucking like
talking
Gios used this quantum generator. He shrunk your bitch. Like shut the fuck up.
He
Anyways,
did.
like
Why is this bone
yeah,
looking up your
yeah.
grandmother's cooking then, son?
He did. Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
why is this bone looking at you in the eyebrows, bitch? He was trying to tweak your eyebrows and shit. Boy, I don't even
that
think it's
shit
IRL.
was
You
not
dirty
fucking
as shit,
funny.
boy.
Your fucking chin has been like a cash register, like shit. Shut your Squidward nose ass
Who are
looking
you
up.
talking to?
Shut the
You
fuck
said all
up, you
that packet
stupid
while you're
bitch.
eating a big fat pack
I'm
of ramen
talking
noodles
to
like
your
bone
fucking
dot
granny,
XX, bitch.
you
I don't know
nasty
you're talking
bitch.
to
Shut your
IRL.
lame ass up, Brij. Nobody
I don't know you're
fucking here
speaking
like
to.
actually.
Zaji, look at you said,
Shut
get
your
down on the
lame ass
ground.
up, you
Ugly
stupid
bitch. Say,
bitch.
Zaji, I don't know you're speaking to IRL.
Nobody
Really dirty
fucking
as shit,
cares.
Zaji.
Anyways, do you want to go
Thanks,
on to
bro.
conclusions? Do you want to go
Huh?
on to conclusions?
Of
Do you
the
want to go
initial
on?
part, or do you want to like continue aping?
No. Like I think you're fucking aping first, right? Now,
Prove that.
basically. Oh my god. Anyways, can we just go to conclusions?
Yeah, after you look at yourself in chat, can we just go to conclusions? Like, yeah, sure, we can go to conclusions IRL.
Okay. Let's go to conclusions. Anyways, like
All right.
Oh, hold up.
Zaji pondering
So
on
you
how
want,
he's gonna win
do you want to
conclusions.
go on?
You
You want
stuck
to
for
conclude first,
yeah.
or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
Okay. So
Oppo. I think Oppo's here. Wait. Did someone? Oh my fucking
Big
god!
Drip is obviously winning this debate. I don't see any other way to put it. Like Big Drip is obviously hoeing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like,
Big Drip W, yo. Big Drip W. All right, yeah. So, what's it called? I think I won because Zaji didn't justify his stance, right? And I did justify my stance. So the issue is we're two people exchanging ideas, and the conclusion or the goal of the conclusion is to whoever's stance is justified over the other will win the debate, right? I justified my stance and I made it applicable to the context of my premise. And all Zaji did was try to deny it with an unverified experience. That's it. Like, that's my conclusion.
Okay, sure. So I basically gave the conclusion such that he doesn't actually, he just gave a personal arbitrary definition of justification. I argued in favor that like I could also give my personal justification. He tried to ask me, and by the way, this is the thing that like just basically throws his shit down. He said that like, well, can you justify that your justification's over mine in a certain instance, right? And I basically say, well, can you prove that like yours would your justification would like extend over mine? And he says very directly, well, yeah, I agree that that like problem can apply to me, but I raised the burden first. I properly demonstrate that
Yeah.
raising the burden. Hold on. I properly demonstrate that raising the burden first does not mean anything, right? And as a result of that, right, you pretty much have fucking cut yourself because your own problems that you laid out apply to
I
yours,
think
and
it's
you
just
haven't
strawman.
demonstrated anything, especially since you've raised the positive. All right, we can go to conclusions. Was anyone recording?
Yeah, 2 people recorded. We'll get it sent over to
Okay.
Oppo. Also, I said it could, Zaji. I don't know you're strawmanning, Sunny Bunny.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sending.
Whoa, your mic cut out.
Okay, yo,
This
scan
is
the
Zaji
go.
trying to rat on me in chat. I don't know you're talking to
Yo,
IRL.
scan. Can you send the recording to us or like Oppo?
Yeah.
Bet.
I think the Monkey King